Big changes with a federal program put in place during the pandemic to help people have continuous health insurance coverage. Big change with that coming up. You've got to make a decision. I'll explain that more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. When you look at health insurance, there's sort of different clusters, regardless or depending on where you are in life, your work situation, your age, all of that will sort of influence what cluster you fall in regarding where you get your health insurance. A large cluster is if you're working for an employer that offers group health insurance. This is started back in the 50s, where all of a sudden it felt like a responsibility by employers to offer group health insurance as a benefit. It was never really designed that way, but it was offered as a benefit. And that's sort of the normal thinking today as well. Where I work, if I'm in a career, they're going to offer health insurance, and that's where I'll get it. So if your employer offers a group health insurance plan, that's going to be the logical place where you're going to get insurance for a lot of people, okay? So that's that group. If you work for an employer that doesn't offer health insurance, or maybe you don't work enough hours to be eligible for the group plan, or if you're not working, then healthcare.gov, the marketplace, the exchange, Affordable Care Act, all of those things mean the same thing. That's another segment. That's a growing segment of folks, cluster, where you're going to get your health insurance from. So if you work, but the company doesn't offer group health insurance, or you're not working, your pool, that cluster, is going to look at healthcare.gov, Affordable Care Act, the marketplace, that sort of thing. That's where you'll likely turn to get your health insurance from. If you're age 65 or older, that cluster is going to be Medicare. Is most likely, if you're eligible, and many people are, age 65 or older, if you're not working, not part of one of those other clusters, likely you're going to get your health insurance through Medicare. You're going to get a supplement. You're going to get parts, A, B, D, and a supplement. Maybe you'll go with part C. That's a big decision that you'll work with an independent health insurance advisor on that. But that cluster, retired, 65 or older, you're likely looking at Medicare. And then the last cluster, and I'm oversimplifying here, but I think this is probably going to cover 99% of people out there. That last cluster is financially, you don't have any income, or you have very, very, very little income. And in addition, not just that, but in addition to that, you have very little assets as well, right? So if you don't have income or very little income, but you've got a lot of assets, then you're likely retired, and this isn't for you. But if you don't have much income, you don't have much assets, so financially on welfare or have great needs, social needs, Medicaid is the cluster, is the pool that you're looking to get your health insurance through. Now, in order to have Medicaid, you've got to meet criteria. Your income needs to be below a certain level, and you really can't have any assets. And I'm overgeneralizing, oversimplifying, but that's essentially it. And there's this sort of ongoing proof that you've got to show, hey, I don't have income, I don't have assets, therefore I'm still eligible for Medicaid. Otherwise, you get kicked off of it, and then you've got to reapply, and it becomes this challenging cycle. Well, during COVID, there was part of one of the stimulus programs, they built in this continuous coverage to allow for the Medicaid system to allow for folks kind of during this COVID time period that, listen, there's not going to be this ongoing kick you off and have you reapply and get back on. We're going to provide continuous coverage. There will be continuous coverage during this length of time for this public emergency. Well, how long is that emergency going to last? Guys, it's official. We are in the unwinding process of that continuous coverage that was offered through one of the stimulus programs. Take a look at the link below. I'm going to have it right here as well, because if this applies to you or your family, first thing you're going to want to do is be aware of what is changing. At the very end of 2022, during part of the spending bill, Secure Act 2.0, all that sort of stuff, the Congress signed into law the Consolidated Appropriations Act, and in it, It set an end to the continuous enrollment provision for Medicaid, and it's ending March 31st of 2023. That's right. Lots of states now are scrambling to figure out, well, what are we going to do? Because this has sort of been on autopilot. And for those of you that have had the security, the benefit of saying, well, nope, I don't have to go through this doom loop of proof and maybe getting kicked off and then needing to reapply, that's going to end. This season of this continuous offering is going to end March 31, 2023. Okay, if that's you, what do you need to do? Instead of breaking it down and making it super, super complex, I would argue, if that's you, you've got to contact an independent health insurance advisor right now. Because again, going back to those clusters, if you've been in this cluster of, I don't have much income, or really any, I don't have really any assets, therefore I need Medicaid, it's possible there's a state provided. So if you're no longer going to be eligible for Medicaid, or they're going to, 1 month it looks like you'd be eligible, the next month you wouldn't be, contact this health insurance advisor, because there may be a state program that's different than Medicaid that you're eligible for. Or maybe you need to consider, and I think this will be the case for many, need to consider looking at the Affordable Care Act, the marketplace, healthinsurance.gov, as a more confident or solid or predictable place for you to get your insurance from. Your independent health insurance advisor is going to understand those clusters, where to get health insurance from, and which one applies best for you in your situation. This is an enormous change that is going to impact tens of thousands of people that have been, again, had some security, confidence based on this stimulus provision here that's ending on March 31st, 2023, as it relates to Medicaid. If this is you or a family member or someone you know, be in touch with a health insurance, a specialist, independent health insurance advisor. They can explore your situation, explore what options are available to you, and help you get the right coverage. All of that based on your entire financial plan. Protection planning, that's one of the 6 areas of your financial life. You've got to look at all of them, because you can't look at just, well, I need health insurance, let's just solve for that. No, you've got to look at your present financial position to see how much income you have, how much assets you have. You've got to look at the long term as well to see what's appropriate for you. So work with your certified financial planner and talk to an independent health insurance advisor. If our team can help, contact us. You can find us online, wisemoneyshow.com, Korhorn.com as well, Korhorn with a K, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.